All right, hello students. So today I'm going to be giving you a brief overview of value and value criterion. We went over this in class, but for those of you who are absent or who are just having a hard time wrapping your head around it, here is a quick reminder. So value and value criterion is the heart of a Lincoln Douglas style debate, which you will all be doing for your final. So a value is an ultimate truth or standard of morality, an idea about non-tangible concepts important to belief systems. So it is a general concept like justice or morality or autonomy or national sovereignty or quality of life, something like that. It's non-tangible. It's an idea that we generally think is good and important as humans. And in order to defend your side, you're going to have to pick a value that goes with your side of your debate. So in order to figure out what value is going to work better, we need to think about standards of judgment. So which watch is worth more? We have a watch from McDonald's Happy Meal, Toy Story watch, very cute. It works wonderfully, tells time quite precisely. And then on the other side of the screen, we have a Rolex, which is broken. So the question is, which watch is worth more? Well, it completely depends on your standard of judgment. If your standard is telling time, like you need to get to your flight at the airport on time, then you're going to want to pick the watch that works. However, if your standard of judgment is monetary value, then you're going to want to pick the Rolex because even if it's broken, it's worth much more than the Happy Meal watch. So which is worth more depends on how you're judging the thing. That's what's going to happen in your debate. So for example, if you're debating the rich watches, it could be, does it tell time? How much money is it worth? Is there sentimental value attached? Who's choosing? Is it a small child or an adult? Etc. So some common values you guys have on your handout from class. There is probably about 50 of them there you can choose from, so I'm not going to include that on this video. There are other options besides those values, but if you want to use a different value than those, you need to see me for approval before you choose something else. So value debates can be difficult. For example, lying to an unarmed mugger, saying that you're an expert at karate, and thus convincing him to flee rather than rob, violates honesty, but preserves the values of property, nonviolence, and personal security. So if you're holding the side that says, yes, you should lie, you're going to be upholding property, nonviolence, and personal security. If you're saying, no, you shouldn't lie, you're going to be upholding honesty. Which is the better thing to do in this situation? That's what the debate would be about if this were the topic. So the next thing, and it's probably the more confusing of the two, is a value criterion. So for each debate, you're going to have one value and one value criterion. Again, that's one value and one value criterion. So again, values are essentially overarching non-specific ideas. So we need a way to measure if that value exists. So the criterion is going to be a way to measure the presence of a value. It's kind of like a measuring stick. So for example, there's a debate about whether the US should go to war with a volatile country with nuclear weapons. The affirmative is going to say we should go to war. My value is life. So the thing this student holds the most dear is life. My value criterion is reducing the risk of nuclear annihilation. So they're measuring protection of life by reducing the risk of nuclear annihilation. Clearly going to war to take out that country would be the better option. However, the negative side is going to say we should not go to war. My value is also life, but my value criterion is deterring war. So the negative is going to say war takes away life, so therefore we need to deter war at all costs. Normally when there's a debate, the value is going to be different for the affirmative and the negative. Every now and then you'll see a debate like this where the affirmative and the negative choose the same value, but the value criterion is going to be different always. It helps to measure why life is being upheld. So you guys should see the clash of ideas here. Both students want to protect life, but the first wants to do it by going to war and reducing the risk of nuclear annihilation. The second wants to do it by deterring war. So again, your value criterion is the measuring stick for how you're going to determine if your side actually upholds your value. It's the link between your side of the argument and your value. So your criterion is going to most often be a verb plus an object, such as protecting life or minimizing suffering or rejecting violence or encouraging participation or creating equality. If you find your criterion being like a whole sentence long, it's probably not a criterion. You need to simplify it down. Should be like 5 words maximum. So again, the value criterion is the weighing standard for the arguments. Criterions must be both necessary and sufficient. So will it acknowledge and achieve the value? Again, it's the link between your topic and your value. That's the value criterion. It links those two together, and it also measures the presence or absence of your value. So that is it. With no further ado, if you have further questions, please feel free to come see me during class, before class, after class. Hopefully this will serve as a good reference for you as you write your introduction for your constructive speech. Thanks so much. Bye.